All right, so again, we know the vocabulary, we know the different parts, the different pieces of box plots. Now we're going to go through and practice reading them, pulling out those words and reading the box plot, putting that all together. So we have this example that we're going to do together, then you're going to try one on your own. So first it's asking us for the range of our box plot. And in case you forgot, remember the range is that distance between the minimum and the maximum. So for me to calculate that range, I have to subtract those two numbers. So here, for my range, what is my maximum? My maximum is 19, and I subtract my minimum. What is my minimum? 3. So I need to do 19 minus 3. What is 19 minus 3? 16. 16. Next, it asks, what is the interquartile range? Remember that interquartile range is the range of the box. The range of the box. So I need to subtract my upper quartile and my lower quartile to figure out how far apart are those two things. So I need to subtract my quartile 3 and my quartile 1. My quartile 3 is 13. My quartile 1 is 5. I'm trying to see how far apart or how wide is my box. 13 minus 5 is 8. Our next question is, what percent of the data set is greater than 9? So here I see I've got 9. I want to know what percent is greater than 9. We talked that each section has what percent in it. It doesn't matter how big or small that percent or that section is, they all have 25% in them. So that means that this box has 25% of my data. This box has 25% of my data. So what percent of my data is greater than 9? Well, I need to add 25% plus another 25%. And what's that going to give me? 50%. Half of my data is bigger than my median, and the other half of my data is smaller than my median. And the last question, what percent of the data set is less than 13? So here again, I got to find a number. I'm looking at 13, and I want to know what percent of my data is less than 13. I know this section's 25. The other two are still 25. Every piece of my data set has 25% in it. So we need to add 25% plus 25% plus 25%. Think about it like money. Think about it like quarters. If I have 3 quarters, if I add 25% 3 times, what's that going to give me? 75%, or 75 cents if you're thinking about quarters. So use your vocabulary, use the picture of a box plot, to help you answer this next slide, these next questions on the slide on your own. You try. Pause the video, and when you're done, play to see how you did. All right, the range. Again, the maximum minus the minimum, we get 18. The interquartile range, Q3 minus Q1, so 16 minus 5 gives me 11. Here's 5. What percent is bigger than 5? 25% plus 25% plus 25% gives me 75%. And this last one was kind of a trick question. What percent of the ages are greater than 20? Here's 20, but nothing is greater than it. So that's a 0%. If you have questions about these types of problems, let us know. Otherwise, go ahead and move on to the next video, sorry.